The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, I'd like to welcome everyone back to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight have Brendan helping out with any questions or concerns that come along the way. Brendan, are you with us?
Sure am. How you guys doing?
All right, perfect. And also, thankfully, I was getting a little nervous there for a while that Greg wasn't going to be there to help out, but Greg's with us as well to make sure I'm hitting all my key points for you guys.
Good evening, everybody.
So we were just kind of talking about weather in all the different areas, and Greg is sweating over there. I got 6 inches of snow, and Brendan's in the perfect zone, so I think we need to head over to where you're at, Brendan.
Well, it won't be long until we're going to get a lot of that snow, so yeah it's, I'm going to enjoy the fall weather while I can.
Exactly. All right, so I do see a couple new names in here, so I'll go over the quick housekeeping. Everybody is in mute, just to eliminate any background noise. Any questions that do come along, definitely type those into the questions panel, and Brendan will read those off to me, and we'll get those answered right away. And with these night classes, they are solely dedicated for you guys, so definitely please feel free to ask those questions. A very laid-back class. As you can tell, we like to joke around a little bit, have a little bit of fun in these night classes as well. But with that, one other thing is all the night classes are recorded. So if you guys want to go back and visit a previous night class, you guys can go over to YouTube and type in SolidCAM University. And I completely forgot that we were going Facebook Live, so I'm going to do this real quick as we're on here. And we'll go to...
Well, so, you know, like you said, Kevin, thank God Greg was here. Keep you on your toes.
Yep, exactly. Let's see. I think if
I hadn't realized that we're doing the Facebook Live thing.
Yeah.
This is my first experience with it.
That's right. So if we go, more live video. So for everybody that's sitting waiting around in the go-to meeting, sorry guys, we will use share screen.
You know what, Kevin, while you're doing that, if you don't mind, if I just kind of ask another housekeeping question. So Abraham, Carlos, and Navid, can you just, would you just mind maybe just putting something into the questions area, and just let us know if you can see the screen that Kevin has going here, just by saying a yes. That would be that'd be really helpful. And Arthur has just joined as well, so that's great. Yeah, just want to make sure everybody can see the screen that that Kevin has open here. So once again, just in the chat area, if somebody could, or if everybody can just reply yes to that, hopefully everybody can see it.
Well, we got a couple people in there, but
yeah, I just want to make sure everybody can hear us. That's all. So let's see.
Carlos is usually on this A game. Carlos, can you hear us? Not to pick on you or anything, but. Well,
didn't mean to throw a wrench in it there.
No,
Kevin.
I'm a little concerned though, because if we're not having people hear us, that could be a bad thing. Oh, yep, Arthur. Okay, perfect.
There we go. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Now I did forget to also mention that with these night classes, like I said, they are completely dedicated for you guys. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys have an idea or something that you guys would like to see in here, definitely send those over to me via email, and I will get them incorporated into the SolidCAM live class. And I'm currently putting my email address in for everyone right now. So for those of you guys that are on the GoToMeeting, for those of you guys that are watching on Facebook Live, it is kevin.rankle, and that's RANKL, @solidcam.com. And you guys can email those ideas over to me as well. So enough with the rambling. We'll get on to what you guys came here to learn about. And we are going to be doing continuing on with the iMachining. And what I want to do is just kind of, since it's been a month since we've done a night class, since I was out farming and Greg was out doing post-processor stuff, I want to just kind of recap on what we talked about a month ago. So inside iMachining, and this is new for 2020, is all the different feature recognition that they have built in there. So what we talked about a few weeks ago is all the feature recognition by face. So what we did here is just clicked on all the different faces, so you can see all my different faces that I selected here, as well as there is a kind of a light blue highlighted area of what iMachining is looking at to machine out in that area. And we have all the different modes in here. And today we're going to be talking about the feature recognition by chain. But like I said, just to recap, this is all off of faces. So all you guys have to do is click your mouse cursor in here and just click on any face that you would like to machine in there. Doesn't matter if it's a fully open pocket, a semi-open pocket, or like a pocket with an island. It will recognize all based off the updated stock that is in there, and it will only machine the rest material that is left over. So as well as we did a probing on this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quick run this through our machine simulation. Give it a second to load here. All right, so I have the 3-screen preview showing right now, and once it gets fully loaded, I'll switch over just to the single. Okay, so we have our single machine there, and we'll just get rid of the machine housing. And we'll kind of zoom in here. So first part we're showing right here is the probing. Let's slow this down a little bit. So probing our x-axis, now we're probing our y-axis, and doing our z-hit. Now this is where it's getting into the iMachining based off of the faces here. So we can kind of speed this up here. And I am showing machine sim right now just to kind of give you guys a better look at maybe a different machine or what the machine sim can do for you guys. This machine is a Haas UMC 750 that we're currently running this on here. Now I did kind of learn something new about these UMC 750s, and maybe Greg knows this, but I sure didn't. On this Haas UMC 750, you have your full 5-axis right here that you can mount your vise, but you guys also have the option to mount a secondary vise over here on this flat side, and that's kind of where the bolt holes and the pin holes are set up for you guys. So if this is something that you were kind of doing pre-prep work on this one and then doing the full machining on this one, so you guys do have the option. Now on this one, you're not going to have the full 5-axis, it's just going to be 4-axis, but you guys do have that option there to run that vise, and I never knew about this. Greg, did you know about that?
Yeah, I think it's a newer feature on the machines once the UMC series got the redesign.
Oh, okay. The updated. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird that you guys are talking about that, because I was just talking with a customer of mine last week, and I didn't know that did that either, which was really kind of cool. So, yeah. You know, they're like, oh yeah, I can set up a second setup on that, you know, on that 4th rotation. So yeah, that's kind of it's a pretty cool feature.
Absolutely. All right, we'll speed this up a little bit here because don't want to put you guys to sleep quite yet. But you can kind of see we're basically machining out all these pocketed areas, all based off of just selecting those faces. So now, instead of selecting a face, what we're going to be focusing on today is more or less think of it as a through pocket. We can do through slots. We can do single line geometry as well. So I'll just go ahead and pause this and we'll get moving forward with the iMachining feature recognition based off of faces, or I'm sorry, based off of chains. So now what I would like to do is, you can see when I clicked my faces, I was able to grab, all these different faces, this one here, in here to get these machined off. But I have these through pockets right here in the center, as well as these 4 outer holes that I would like to machine off. And they have set it up with the new iMachining to be able to do those features. So from right here, we can just go ahead and click on our 2D iMachine. Oops. Okay, so by default, it is set up to do by faces. Now, if this is something that you guys more or less do, maybe feature recognition by chains, you guys.
The truth is out there.
What's that?
The truth is out there. Somebody's ringtone just went off and it sounded.
Oh, it's mine. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you guys do have the option in your settings to set up the default. So when you open up a new 2D iMachining operation, you can have it defaulted by faces, you can have it defaulted by chains, you can do outside feature recognition, or no feature recognition at all. So you guys do have that option there, and I should probably show that to you, just because a lot of you guys are using this iMachine quite a bit here. So if you open up your global SolidCAM settings here, and we go down to iMachining, and right here is your default. So like I said, right now I have it set to default recognition by faces, which is probably on all of your guys' currently, because that's the default install. But if I would like to do recognition by chains, or without any recognition, or the outside recognition, I do have that option right there. So with that being said, anytime I start a new iMachining operation, it will be customized more to what you guys would like instead of what our software is currently loaded with. Okay, so we want to do those through pockets. So I'm going to grab new geometry, and I'm going to grab all these circles in here, or these through pockets. Now, like I said, with all these feature recognition is all based off of updated stock. So if we didn't have this face milling or this recognition by face already pre-milled out, it would know that there's remaining stock up here, and it would need to start from the top and work its way down. But since it is all based off of that stock recognition, it knows that we already machined down to this face. So all we really have left over is this little area right here. And as well as, it doesn't matter with your iMachine, you can pick different levels all the way through. Like I said, it is all based off of the stock. So we're not going to machine any error at any one point in time. So now what I'm doing here is my text message here. There we go. So for this first one, I'm going to pick a very large end mill. So we got a 1.5 inch end mill that is going on in there. So we'll go ahead and accept that. Now you'll see that it's doing the updated stock. So basically anything that is blue is going to be machined by that tool. But obviously I have 2 holes left over here that I would like to machine out as well. And previously with iMachine, what you guys would have to do is do a save and copy, and then change it over to a smaller tool, and it would find it. Well, now we can do that all within the one operation. So for our 1.25 inch, I'm gonna tell it that I would like to finish the wall. Then I want to come and add a secondary tool. And we'll grab our 1/2-inch end mill. And as well, I would like for it to finish the wall. Now our levels are all based off of the updated stock, so it's going to be defaulted to the variable levels. If you want to go more in depth, maybe you would like to go put a delta in there, and we can click on the variable levels, and it's telling me my chain 1, which is this one right here, is going to go down 1.375 in depth. But like I said, we want to go just a little bit farther past, so we can just do maybe a negative 20 thou past. As well as on chain 2, we can do a minus 20 thou. Oops. Okay. So now I've told it that, you know, it's going to find those levels automatically for us. But if I want to go that little bit farther past, we don't get that little bit of, you know, that sharp line or that that little flappy piece, I don't know what you call it, little flange down here at the bottom. That's the way to kind of go about it. Now, Technology Wizard is same as what you guys have been used to seeing before, is all based off of the iMachining Wizard. And it's based off of our tool that we're using, as well as the material. And if we'd like to go a little bit faster, a little bit slower, we can move this up or down. Now, since I'm using 2 different tools, you'll see that I have a dialog pop up over here. So maybe on my 1.5 inch, I would like to run it at level 5. And on my 1/2 inch tool, I want to run at level 8. So you do have that independent feed control per tool as well, but still keeping it all within one iMachining operation. And the way that you can bounce back and forth is just kind of come up here, select your tool that you would like to work with, and your wizard will automatically update with that tool there. Now, if we get into technology, I would like to do a compensation on there, and maybe I would like a large lead in and lead out, or a large overlap, so I don't have any witness marks there. So now I'm going to be starting over here, and I'll be ending over here, and we'll have an overlap amount over here. And you guys do have the option in here to set your wall or floor RA finish. So for this particular one here, I told it that I'm not finishing the floor because it's a through pocket, so that's why it's grayed out currently. But I would like to have a 2 RA finish in there, or you guys do have the option to pick from here. Now, from when I talked in the last night class, this is all based off of the factual numbers. So in a perfect world, if we are looking for a 32 RA finish on this area right here, in a perfect world, we will get that, but we have to accommodate for run out on the tool, machine flex and all that stuff. So like I said, a couple of weeks ago, I would knock it down by 1. So if you're trying to achieve a 32 RA finish, knock it down to 16, and you'll get probably around that 20 to 25, depending on tool holder and the machine that you guys are currently running. So, all right, with that being said, we can go ahead and save and calculate here. And it's calculating our tool path for currently the tool number 6, which is our 1.5 inch. And you can see that it populated our tool path for 1.5 inch for these 3 holes. And now it's doing the calculation on that 1/2 inch end mill.
So Kevin, as this is calculating, is it worth maybe, you know, spending maybe just 30 seconds on, you know, maybe talking about tool holding, work holding, you know, things like that? Because it makes a big, you know, when you're talking about surface finish, that's hugely important.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great point. So if you guys are planning on running iMachining in a ER holder, ER32, ER16. That would be, let's just say that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is if you guys are running a tool holder and a heat shrink holder, as well as here at SolidCAM we use what's called the Regal Fix holders that are done by hydraulic pressure that work absolutely phenomenal. Both myself, Brendan, Greg have all watched those in action, and it just blows our mind on how well those tool holders work. But it is also with the tooling as well. So, you know, the old saying, you get what you pay for. If you guys try to go out and get that cheapy tool, you may not get as good of a surface finish as well as a good tool life in there than if you guys go out and spend a little bit more money and get a little bit nicer of a tool holder, or I'm sorry, tool, as well as a tool holder. For those of the guys that are just trying to scrape by, definitely you can run those ER holders, but I would definitely recommend dialing our technology or our machining level down to about a 3 or 4. Just because with those ER collets in there, you will get some run out, you will get some flex that is going in there, as well as your fixturing. If we're trying to run this on a vacuum table, we're going to want to dial this back a little bit, versus if we are running this like on our Kurt Weiss here, we're going to get good work holding, and you can kind of see that I'm clamping on to a good meat of this part right here. So definitely is a great point, Brendan. The more, basically, to kind of sum it up, the more you spend in your tooling, in your tool holders, the faster that you guys will be able to push iMachining, as well as get that production out the door for everyone. So.
Yeah, you know, and just to add to that super quick, Evan, you know, it's again, I mean, this is what makes iMachining what it is. You know, it's because when you have those great conditions, you know, the tool holder, the tool itself, the fixturing, all of that stuff, you know, that's when you really get, you know, you just get that focused material removal that iMachining can really do. And every time I look at that little icon, Kevin, or that graphic of the window where, you know, the tool, yeah, exactly. And it's like, because I'm sure so many people look at that and go, well, I can push that a lot faster, can I? Well, yeah, you sure can if you have the right conditions. So, you know, that's something that, you know, you really need to take into consideration.
And that's
I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead.
That's definitely a great point. So one thing I did not cover a few weeks ago is, you know, the kind of the basic fundamentals of iMachine. So we have a machining level 1 through 8 here. And this is basically, you know, how aggressive do you want to be in the cut? And I like to tell people this is the pucker factor. How much do you want to pucker up that first time? But does a great job. But let's say that, all right, I'm running level 8, but I know my machine and my tooling can go faster. Well, that's what we have the modified cutting conditions here. So we don't lock you guys out of anything at any one point in time. So maybe I want to take a larger step over. Well, we do have the turbo mode that is going to increase your step overs right here, but as well as, you know, maybe I want to, you know, look at my max chip thickness, and I can tell that I would like to go more or less, as well as our spin, as well as our cutting angles and all that stuff. So you guys definitely are not locked out of this. It's not no automagic that, oh, well, I can only go to level 8, even though I know I could go faster. Definitely come over here in the modified cutting conditions and start increasing this stuff that's in here. As well, like I said, first thing, if I'm running 1018 or softer, you know, 1018, aluminum, Delrin, any of those plastics, I will definitely come in here, I'll run level 8 and I'll turn turbo on right away. Just because as long as I got good areas where I can get chip evacuation out of there, you know, the software knows that what material that we're using here, and we're going to, we know that we can go definitely much faster, which is why we added the turbo feature in there for you guys. So definitely come in here. And all I can say is once you have all these parameters set in here, definitely save that out as a template. There's no need to come back through and make these changes constantly. Save it out as a template, and maybe to save it, like on this particular part, we're cutting aluminum. Maybe we can just save that template out as iMachining for aluminum, and it will have all those predefined variables already done for you in there, as well as your tooling and all that stuff. So all you really need to do at that point is just pick your geometry. So thanks, Brendan, for hitting on that one.
No, and just one more point, and I'm sorry because I get so jacked up when we talk about this stuff. It's just, so the other thing is, if you just go on YouTube, and there are so many customers of ours that post their own videos, and they just sort of like they really just try to push their machine as hard as they can, and some of these videos honestly are sort of frightening, because you just think, like, how in the world can that tool not break, or how in the world did it just didn't rip that material out of the vise? And the reason for that is because of the fact this algorithm, this iMachining algorithm, it just works so well, and it's doing everything to evacuate, just like Kevin said, evacuate the chip, but also remove the heat from the cutting tool.
Yep.
And a lot of people just don't think about that. So when you see this thing in action, it's unbelievable. I mean, I've seen Kevin and Greg and Ken and a bunch of our other guys that I work with all the time, and they show me these tool paths, and I'm just going, like, I have to like run in the other direction after they hit the cycle start button, because I just don't believe it. And then you look at it and you're like, wow, it's amazing. So
yep.
Sorry.
No,
excited.
And definitely. And if you guys want to check out some of the videos that we have done, if you guys come over to the SolidCAM University, go to playlists, and in here, we've created a live cutting. And my favorite in here is the Goering diver. And I think, Brendan, you were there with us on that one.
Yeah, that was
this one right here. So
this is nuts.
This is basically, we're trying to break the end mill, and it didn't happen, but I went a little too far here.
I actually remember this one, Kevin, because we kept telling Ken, like, yeah, just go faster, go faster.
Yep, let's add more angle. So this is 1018 cold rolled right here using a Goering diver, and
look at that. That's crazy.
It's just, with a 30-degree helix. And we started off, so by default, I'll just pause this right here. By default, our linking in the link section here is 1.5 degrees. So this is a really safe conservative, but Goering sent us these tools that said, try it out, let's see what can happen. And so we started playing with 5 degrees, and we went to 8 degrees, we went to 10 degrees, and I think Brendan's finally like, Ken, let's just crank it up to 30 and see what it can do. And we turned it on, and between the, like Brendan was saying, the built-in algorithm as well as the tooling, and this was done with a boy, I'm having a brain fart, Regal Fix tool holder. So we knew that our tooling was very good, and we just cranked it up and hoped for the best. So definitely the sky's the limit when it comes to iMachining with you guys. So, and it doesn't matter if you're a one part off or if you guys are running massive production, iMachining will be there to back you guys up either way. So.
Awesome. Thanks for showing that, Kevin. I appreciate it. Didn't mean to derail you there.
It gives me goosebumps every time I look at it. I love it. So, all right. So we have our through pockets all selected in here, and let's go ahead and take a peek and just kind of see what we're doing here. And I know there was a lot of talking going on, more explanation, more than anything with the through pocket, but it's as simple as you guys just grabbing that chain, picking your tool, and how aggressive do you want to be in that cut, save and calculate, is basically how it comes down to it. Now, one thing that does come up on the support side is if I make a change to the iMachining up here, why am I getting the asterisk over here to recalculate again? And that's solely based off of the updated stock. So if I make a modification, and we'll make a modification just so you guys can see how it works, but if I make a modification to a previous iMachining operation that affects my updated stock, then the operations following that will need to be updated as well. All right, so now we'll get zoomed in for everyone. So you can see we're doing that helical entry. And I did have more than 20,000 stock on there, so you can see we haven't broke through yet, but at least when we go to the second op side to fly cut off that backside, we'll have that taken out of there. So very simple, very easy to use. Now, oops, how about here? Now, like I said, what I want to do is show you guys on this particular one here. So let's say that I changed up my iMachining from the faces. So I'm going to turn that checkbox off. It's that one right there. I'm going to come in here. And we'll go to our geometry. And I'm going to deselect that one face. Actually, hang on. I'll select everything. Just a couple of these here so we're not wasting time for you guys. And we'll do a save and calculate here. And more or less, I just want to show you the updated stock that's going on behind the scenes. So now that I'm not doing that through pocket or that face with that through pocket over here, you'll see that all my, operations below have a little asterisk by that saying that they need to be resynchronized. Like I said, that's solely based off of the updated stock. So we'll go ahead in here, go ahead and calculate these. And with these live cuts, while this is calculating here, we have, for those of you guys that are watching this on Facebook, there is a Facebook group which is called SolidCAM North America. And Matt has almost become a really good friend of ours, or mine, and we're going to actually be doing some live cuts on his UMC 750 coming up in the future. For those of you guys that are keep involved with the Titans of CNC, they have a aerospace division that we're going to be doing a bunch of 5-axis cuts on there as well. So keep tuned to that in the future. So now, go ahead and play this through here. We're updating everything. You can see right here.
Important to note here too, Kevin, is that, everything, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is all being updated live in terms of, the stock itself, the simulation itself.
Yep.
So you're going to see this live toolpath, right?
Yep, absolutely. So now you can see we have our through pockets going all the way through, and I can kind of zoom in here. It's kind of tough to see because we still have some excess material on there, but it's all based off of that updated stock. So before it was starting down here in the hole and then working its way through the stock, where now it's starting up at the top and working its way down. So like I said, it's all based off of that updated stock. And, we'll get into the part 4 of the iMachining operations where there is no feature recognition, which is basically old, I don't want to say old school iMachining, but there is no feature recognition that is built into that. So we'll be covering that in part 4 of iMachining. So
don't give away too many secrets right now, Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. Can't let the cat out of the bag too early, right?
It's already cool enough. I mean,
Yeah, and and like I said, going forward with these classes too, we have what's I'm having Greg or Brendan. What's our little desktop machine?
the
Defiance.
oh, Defiance. Yeah,
Yep.
the little blue one.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a little tiny desktop machine that what we're going to be doing, and this is kind of looking in the future here, but what I'm thinking is maybe starting December is we'll kind of go through a tool path on here, show you guys how it works and everything, and then we'll actually do a live cut on that machine so you guys can kind of see in action and not just pretty pictures on my screen here. So that is going to be coming soon as well for everyone too. So.
And that's, again, Kevin, if I can just interject one more time, I know you're getting sick of this, but
No.
what's really cool is Kevin just brought up a great point. Anybody can show you, a graphic or a simulation or, hey, look at how great this looks. But that's something that we really take a lot of pride in, is the fact that, after we program this stuff, we can actually put it on a machine. And, particularly that Göring video, when we're just diving into that material, that's a realistic, these are all realistic toolpaths. These are things that you can be doing with your machines, and you don't have to have a brand new machine to do this. You don't have to have a high-speed machine to do this at all. We've done, countless studies with machines that are 20, 30, 40 years old with just like massive backlash. And, these machines are probably should kind of be boat anchors. And, we're able to take these machines and make them production machines again. And it's really just all of it is due to that iMachining algorithm. So, again, I know Kevin's trying to there. Yep, I knew it.
this old girl.
Again,
rode hard.
Kevin's going to be like, I wonder when Kevin's actually going to say, "Can Brendan just stop talking?"
No, no,
I'm not sure if I can.
This is a great point. Like Brendan was saying, iMachining is just not set up for the new high-tech machines out there. This is a 1996 TM1, which is a tool room mill, the cheapest that you could buy, Haas mill. Runs off 120 volt, not even the 240 or 220, I think what it is, but been rode hard, put away wet, and it's a very non-impressive video until you read what was going on in here. So traditionally, it was taking them 2 hours and 26 minutes to cut these pockets. Ken came on site and did it around 7 minutes. And not only was he able to make one pocket out of that tool, he was able to make 7+ pockets out of that tool, where before the customer was only able to get 1 end mill per part. So, like, to go off exactly what Brendan was saying there, it has nothing to do with your machine at all. You can have that old rickety one in the back corner that we will make that thing come alive, as well as the brand new machines out there. So. Definitely a great point there, Brendan.
Yeah, and these are documented studies that we've done with these machines. So the other thing that we would also invite you to do is, feel free to challenge us. Send us a part that you might find challenging, and we would be more than happy to put a tool path on the part, and hopefully we can do it faster. I'm pretty confident that we can.
Oh yeah.
9 times out of 10 we can, and that's the thing. We're not afraid of the challenge. Give us your most complex part, and we can program it with ease.
Yeah, absolutely.
Confidence level is just over the top.
Yep, and that's why we have the live cuts in here, because we want to prove it to you guys, and to get it even better for the night class, we're going to be doing these live cuts along with the tool path of each one. So going forward, we'll do half the night class is showing you how to program it, and then we're going to actually prove it to you. So we want that confidence when we show it to you guys. So But with that being said, that basically covers everything through for the chain recognition of iMachining in there. Greg, do you have anything that I'm missing out on here?
No, it's pretty comprehensive. The only thing I would like to see is everything that you've done so far tonight was with a closed chain.
Mm-hmm.
How the feature recognition works with open chains.
Okay. As like a open face or as a semi-open chain, kind of like right here?
Yeah, as a semi-open chain.
Okay, well, let's do it. So we'll go ahead and do our 2D iMachining. And since we do have what's called the smart face technology, all I really have to do is just click on the face and it's going to automatically throw that chain in there for us. And you can see in here that we have a closed boundary right here. And then when the geometry knows that it's an open face, it automatically marks that chain as open for us. So we'll go ahead and grab that.
Yeah, actually, Kevin, I was talking more about a chain that wasn't closed, not an open wall, but like a singular piece of geometry instead of a full loop.
Okay. So you're like delete this.
Yeah, like maybe that angled face there would lend itself very well on a indexed move.
Angled.
Where your directionality arrow is.
Okay.
So you need to cut that. It almost looks like a very large chamfer.
Oh,
if
right
you were
here.
to rotate that part up 90 degrees.
Here. I'm a little confused. Let me do this. I'm going to give Greg keyboard and mouse here because I'm
going to say Greg Payton throwing down the challenge.
yeah, I'm not sure what you're looking at here. Okay,
if you wanted to trim off that face, so if you were to index the table to where the tool was normal to, come on and highlight this surface here, and you just wanted to run down this side with the end mill using iMachining.
Oh, okay. So for that, let's go ahead and add a new position in here. And so we're talking about rotating up this way. So we'll be sitting on our machine like that. We'll do a flip around Z. Go ahead and accept that. So now we'll do our single line geometry is, I think, what Greg is getting at here.
Yeah.
And now, when I grab this chain, I grabbed it on the top, which is going to leave my depth at 0. So if you guys want, at that point, you can come right here and tell it the depth that you would like to put in there. Or we can grab that bottom half of the chain and put that in there as well. Or another area that we can put that in there is our levels. And we can tell it just to go right there. And it will grab that, and we can tell it to go in maybe just like 20 thou past. And we'll go ahead and grab our 1/2 inch end mill. And we'll tell it we would like to finish the wall. Save and calculate.
Now, it doesn't look like you finished out that pocket
No.
from previous operations.
So since I did not finish that out from a previous operation, it is seeing that anything that's off of this plane right here is going to be machined off. So what we can do is we can I can go back and tell it to finish that, but this kind of gives, or shows some good light on how well the feature recognition is working, because it is seeing that we did not finish that pocket right there, as well as the outside of our material. So it's going to come in here and machine everything that it can, based off of that index point that or that coordinate system that we're working on. So it sees that there's excess material there.
Maybe this will be a good opportunity to cut that pocket on the first index orientation, and we can see the update based off of the rest of material change.
So let's go ahead and open up that face, and we'll go to geometry. Save and calculate. Now we can see that we're coming in from this front side here and getting all that material out of there. So we'll go through and calculate these guys.
And as previously advertised, we are getting those asterisks next to the operations, letting the user know that the material condition has changed and that those tool paths will need to be updated.
Making the old computer think a little bit here.
I was going to say, you got one of those old school,
It is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, surprisingly, guys. So this computing power right now, I'm running a old 7510, which is 5 years old now. And as we know, computers definitely slow down in their age. So, okay. So now we can see, let's go ahead and simulate this.
But yeah, these types of feature recognition toolpaths can be great, especially when you have one of these multi-axis machines.
Yes.
Like this 5-axis mill here, to where iMachining is going to recognize exactly what material is remaining and only put toolpath where it's needed.
Absolutely. We're not going to be cutting any air. So now that we've updated that, we have that pocket machined out in there, and now we're sitting up on end now. It knows that there's just a little bit of material left over in that corner, and it's going to, let me just slow this down here so I don't have to click so many times. It's only going to eat away what material is left over. So now that we can see that we have come down this angled line, even though that we still have remaining stock on the outside of our part, and you can see that we're right on green right here, and it could be because I didn't set up a finish on there. Sorry about that. We'll go to our tool. Oh, we do have finish on. Okay. Just could be my accuracy of my solid verify here is turned down. So you can see right here, minimize this, that this highlighted blue area is the only thing that is left over from that remaining stock there. And even though that we're machining it on Mac 1 position 1 right here, and it's flipping over to a completely different coordinate system up on its side, that it knows that that stock is still there and it's going to come machine it out. So very intelligent technology there. And that's, like I said before, it's solely based off of the updated stock there. So yeah, great point.
Yeah, it's keeping our optimum tool engagement angle, making that cut. So the other options that we'd have for making this kind of toolpath would be something like a clear offset when you're doing a profile.
But we'd have to guess at
but
that, though.
what that'll do is, yeah, you're essentially either manually calculating out that tool engagement angle, or you're getting a very light cut in the very beginning and then stepping it in constant values. But there is a lot of error cuts because it's basically just a translated toolpath, whereas this one is only cutting where it sees the remaining stock is going to be.
Yeah, and let's just do it as a good representation here. We'll go ahead and do a profile operation and show you guys the different error cuts that would be happening along that process. So come in here. I'd like to change that. We'll go ahead and grab that same tool there. Levels are good. And we are going to be doing a clear offset. Now, like I said, like Greg was saying, we're going to have to kind of be guessing at this. So I'm just going to start off as maybe like a 1/2 inch. And I would like to step over every 100th thou. Save and calculate. And now we can kind of see, well, obviously I didn't need to go out a 1/2 inch. So maybe 300, not 3 inches, 300th thou. So now we're getting a little bit closer because you can see our lines. Let me turn off our iMachine path here. Our blue line is the first initial cut that's going in there, but you guys can see all the air cutting that is going on there. So if I turn on our iMachining, we're doing this, the iMachining in 2 passes right there with no air cutting at all. So when it's over in the air areas, it's running in a high feed move, where in our profile operation, we are doing a feed move all the way through that entire cut coming out. Doing another feed move, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts doing that, which is only one more cut than iMachine, but we are getting a lot of air cutting that is going on through that process right there. And kind of get a better view there. So definitely much easier for you guys, because my favorite thing is I don't have to, you know, figure out a feeding speed and how much to take per pass, plus as well as guessing on how much material is there left over. So definitely it's a great feature to use. Hopefully everyone is taking advantage of that. But if anybody does have questions, definitely throw those into the questions panel right now and we can get those answered. Now, obviously, maybe for the majority of you guys are sitting at home right now, you don't have the part pulled up in front of you, but if you guys do get back to work tomorrow and run across that situation, definitely hit us up on the support, as well as you guys can shoot me an email, and we can get those questions answered for you there. So, all right, Brendan or Greg, anything else that I'm missing out on here before we end it off?
No, I think you know, like I said, I sent the question out as well. You know, if there's anything that anybody wants to see here, you know, we do have a couple of minutes, but you know, maybe should we leave it open for a minute or two, or should we just
we leave it open for a minute here? And
yeah.
But like I said,
Okay.
more importantly, if you guys do have questions with any of this, don't feel like asking it here, definitely send those over to me via email. For everybody that is in attendance on the GoToMeeting, my email address is in the chat. For those of you guys that are watching on Facebook, I have no idea who's watching on Facebook, but if you guys are watching on Facebook, my email address is, well, here, let's just do this.
Oh, he's got to get all fancy.
Yeah, Notepad is so fancy, you know. Oops. So here is my contact info. Definitely feel free to reach out to me. Here to help you guys out in any way possible. For those of you guys that are viewing this on YouTube, my email is down below in the description of the video. So you guys should have full contact no matter what base you're watching this off of right now. So, but
perfect.
With that being said,
Kevin,
yeah, go ahead.
Now, yeah, Kevin, I just want.
How do we find you on MySpace?
Don't have that. Sorry. You can hit up Brendan in there.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, that's great. Makes me feel good. So I just wanted to say one more. I just wanted to say one more thing. Yeah, because I'm the only guy in there. Yeah, just look for Brendan. That's it. So I love these guys. So I did just want to say something super quick. So there are different levels of iMachining. I know we're going to get into maybe some other aspects of iMachining as we move forward during this this particular series. So if there are any questions at all in terms of configurations, what packages have iMachining, which ones do not, please feel free to give me a call as well. I put my information in the chat as well. My font is a lot better than the one that Kevin just put up. I can do that.
Yeah.
So, but beyond that, I didn't see any other questions come in, Kevin. So if you want to wrap it up, totally up to you.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll wrap it up with there, and next week we'll get on to part 3, which is the outside recognition. And for those of you guys that would like to sign up for that, you guys can go to our SolidCAM website and make sure you have the American flag up on top. Click on webinars and go to the KevCAM webinars, and you can sign up for iMachining part 3, which is going to be our outside, as well as our iMachining part 4, which is going to be no feature recognition there. So definitely, if you guys want to see those, sign up for there, and we will see you guys all hopefully next week, next Tuesday at 7. This is a new time for everyone here, so if this is some time that you would like to see more often, or if you wanted to see go back to 9 o'clock Eastern, just let us know. Like I said, these classes are just for you guys, so whatever time works out best for you. I'm good all the way up until 2 o'clock in the morning, so I know Greg's good until 2 in the morning. Brendan, well, he needs a little bit of sleep, I guess. But, all right. Well, all jokes aside, we like to kid around in our night class and keep it alive. So, with that being said, we will see everyone next week, hopefully. And like I said, any questions come up along the way, definitely send those over via email or give us a call on the support line. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
All right. Good evening.